Good morning. I actually wanted to talk about something that I think we've all experienced at some time in our lives. Either we've been the new person who's being introduced to the long time, existing friendships, or the long time existing friend being introduced to the new friend, or being the person who's trying to introduce a new friend to a longtime friend. It's weird when you think about it because we've all been in the same position. We've all been in each of those positions. We've been that new person who is being introduced to a longtime friend that may be feeling a little territorial, a little possessive of the friend that's introducing, because now they don't know where maybe they might stay standing, or if their dynamic's going to change at all as a result of this new friend, and what that feels like to be that person that feels maybe a little protective of their position in the friendship, or feels a little defensive about somebody coming into their territory as far as that friendship, um, or being the friend who's feeling threatened or feeling territorial and not wanting to really be that acceptant of a new friend, especially when the new friend is being introduced to you as a new friend of somebody that you feel that you have a strong connection with, and not wanting to wonder where you stand in that connection, and how defensive you might feel towards that new person who may be the nicest person you've ever met, but because you don't know where they're impacting your current friendship with the person that brought them there, you have a tendency to feel defensive and, hair go up on your neck kind of thing. Then you're the person who wants to introduce your new friend to your longtime friends, and all you want is just happiness. You want this friend who you've now found a good kinship with to get along with your longtime friend, because that would be really great to have, your new friend get along with your old friends. And then you also want your old friends to accept the new friend and not feel slighted in any way. So there's like a level of kind of guilt and almost responsibility to make something good. It's kind of like that when somebody sets a friend up on a blind date. You feel a sense of like almost obligation to see that work out. So it's interesting because I was recently in that situation, and um, I'm the new friend, and when introduced to the longtime friend, I found myself watching their eyes go up and down me, the whole once over deal. And I understand it, but there was no friendliness thereafter. It was, you know, body language was not being welcoming. Body language is much more like, and who are you? So, out of respect for my new friend, my husband and I stood off and allowed that reunion, because they don't see each other that often, allowed that reunion without having to create any tension that wasn't necessary. Then later on, to kind of prove my point, the old friend, saved a seat at the lunch gathering. So clearly there's three, but only a seat was saved. We get it, so we went off and sat by ourselves. Um, it's interesting when you don't want to be, like, I don't, like, sure, I would love to make new friends, but I don't want to be anybody's source of tension. I have no desire whatsoever to make somebody feel defensive or threatened or whatever, and honestly, I'm going to say whatever childhood kind of emotions that come up in those circumstances. I've been there. I know what it feels like to feel like, when somebody comes new to a barn and they're talking about how they trained this and they did that. And I automatically feel like, I'm the trainer here kind of thing, uh, or I'm the one people come to when they want to know something. Who are you? And you're going to be the person people are going to come to now. I don't, I get it. I've been there. And I've been the one that wants to just have all the people get along. Um, but it's interesting, and I guess the reason that I brought it up is because it was like I haven't felt, I guess I haven't been on that side of that triangle in a long time, and it was kind of interesting to find myself there. And I think if I didn't have my husband with me, I probably would have still wandered off and done something by myself because, again, I don't want to be a source of anybody's tension, number one. And number two, I won't try my little heart out to make somebody that I'm not needing to be friends with like me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to, dance like a circus bear so that this person can like me. But in the same sense, I was happy to be a part of the group if I was welcome part of the group. But, I don't know. It was interesting to just be on that side of the coin or that side of the triangle. I don't know that I've been there in a really long time. Um, other comments had been made, about, you know, being the new bestie and all that stuff. So, when comments are made, you can tell the tension was already there. So it's interesting to be a part of that. I don't know that I care for that feeling, but it was interesting to be a part of that nonetheless.